sorry about that, guys. We just got interrupted. We had a phone call for a moving company we had to take, but not a bad interruption.
Can't complain about that.
Yeah, but what I was saying was, I understand, when you're first starting, you think, oh, in a year from now, we're going to be so big, we're not even going to be able to handle it. I remember we had our first year goal lined up that we were each going to be making six figures. Like, that was a guarantee. Year later, that's not exactly where we're at. However, I think the important part is to have those big ambitions in the beginning, because that's what really gets you excited, and that's what really fuels your everyday motivation. And that's kind of like what I'm going to tailor in here is the important part when you're first starting any business is just keeping that everyday grind. Don't burn out in the beginning, because that's kind of what we did. We're work in progress. We did a lot of work in the first 3 months, almost 8 hours a day marketing, 5 days a week, and we kind of tailored off just because we just got fried. We were out of money, and we had to take a little bit of a break. However, like I said, looking back on this past year, I would say the biggest thing is keep those ambitions high, but don't burn yourself out. Just chip away a little bit every single day.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head, and the only add that I would say onto that is just for anyone watching this, especially if you're new, just know that the hardest part is your emotional toll that you're going to take on when you do something like this, because it really is your baby. And it, just like anything new, or like you think you know what's going to go into it, just like having a new kid or anything like that. Like I'm sure every parent knows and says, oh, they think they understand what it's like, but you don't know until it hits you in the face. And then when you actually get out there and go, oh, you're actually on your own, and you're working on it yourself, and you actually have to drive sales to your product so people can use your fucking service, like that's what makes it harder. And that's the difference between, the people that make it and the people that don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I would say.
Yeah, and I could say the burning desire is not as hot as it was before, but it is a much more sustainable fire. It burns a little less hot, but I can feel it's there for the long haul. So, like I said, I think that transition is probably one of the hardest for a young entrepreneur to transition into, because, like I said,
well, would you say that it's more of the less burn, or do you think you have more patience now? And be honest, I'm not just asking.
I would say it's probably a little bit of both. I think that it doesn't, things that burn hot and quick also burn out fast. Things that are slow burn, that they stay lit for hours, or days, weeks, months, years, however you want to make the analogy. I think the intensity in that it's less sexy now, it's less lustful, and it's more like a love. So that's what I would compare it to. So I wouldn't say it's not burning as bright. It's just not as hot and sexy now. However, it's like, that's what I mean by more sustainable. It's less about the allure and more about the fulfillment that comes along with this entire journey, which is something that you can't put into words and you can't describe to someone unless they experience it for themselves.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect way to put it. I mean, every day just waking up and trying to work on it as best you can and work on yourself and work it into your life goals as much as possible. So yeah, we're going to be documenting everything that we do, guys, and giving you updates on our journey and where we're going and how we're improving. And we want as many questions from anyone that watches us as possible. So stay tuned to the Young Millennial Entrepreneur.
Yep. And as always, please like and comment below, and we'll answer as many questions as we can.
Yep.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good one.